The San Francisco 49ers are currently ranked number 2 in the NFC West. But do they still remain one of the top teams in the NFL? I tell you what, today's episode, we're going to focus on the San Francisco 49ers and their offense and who will help save their offense for the remainder of the season. Stick around. We're going to break it down right here with your boy Breezy, right here on the Wayne Breezy Show.
We so bright that we shining. All we know is the Niners. Red and gold at its finest. We so faithful to the bay. We so bright that we shining. All we know is the Niners. Red and gold at its finest. We so faithful to the bay. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Breezy. And it is Friday, Freestyle Friday. You know what time it is. We gonna kick a little something for them cars that be bumping. It's your boy. I hope you guys are happy to be here. Listen, the week is almost over, which means the off week, the bye week, the break week is almost officially over. And the San Francisco 49ers will get back to training, get back to practice, get back to game planning, get back to winning, and get back to being at the top. It's a round of applause. It's a lot of get backing. That's a lot of get backing. You know what I mean? Listen, shout out to our sponsors for the show over there at residency.com. You already know what the fits look like. Check them out. Go to www.residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy if you want to rock one of the fitteds. I can show you what they look like. Hit it, switch, whoosh, bam. There you go. Let me fix my ears because people be talking about my. All right, man. So go ahead and check it out over there at residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezy. Save on your purchase. You know what I'm saying? I got on a gray 49ers, whatever. So I don't have a gray residency cap. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to this cap, whatever cap that was for the 49ers. But shout out to Residency. Shout out to everybody over there that's doing their thing, man. Again, happy Friday. Let's give a quick shout out. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's super important. I know people were like, why we got to hit the like button? Number one, because you like the daggone show. That's why you hit the like button. All right. Hit the like button. All right. Listen, the comment section be popping, but what's more importantly is when you leave a comment after the show. That way I could go and respond to you on a little public one-on-one. It's not private because everybody can see it, but I can respond to you. We can have a little conversation, and we can always take it to the Discord or whatever. We want to go more into depth and stuff like that. But listen, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section, and most importantly, other than the like button, if you're new to the stream, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It's super important, man. Listen, subscribe to the channel. You like what you see. It's the Wayne Breezy channel, which is the Wayne Breezy Show. We got Nitty Gritty Niners. We got NFL shows. We got Pigskin Picks with my boy Mose. You got What's Your Fantasy with Peachy. It's all right here. It's all right here. If you love the crew, they got their own things going on as well. But if you love the crew, you can check them out right here. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I promise you, you will be entertained. I always live that gladiator moment. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button. And if you really love what you see, you want to support the stream, support the channel, support what it is that I'm doing over here on the Wayne Breezy channel and giving you more content, quality content. That's most important. Go ahead and become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew for the low of whatever that fee is, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99, whatever the fee is. Go ahead and support your boy right there. You can click the join button, man. Shout out. And so, speaking of that, let's give a shout out to some of those that are here. What's going on? Jax is in the building. Says, hey, faithful, enjoy your Friday. Jax, thank God it's Friday. I got a question for people out there. Some people have different types of traditions and things that are going on. It's November the 3rd. I'm just curious to know. Here's a question that I want to ask everybody that's watching the show, whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching it on the recap or whatever. When do you put up your Christmas tree? Does it go up after Thanksgiving, or does it go up post-Thanksgiving or pre-Thanksgiving? I think that's the easiest way to ask it. Do you put your Christmas tree up pre-Thanksgiving, which is before Thanksgiving, or post Thanksgiving, usually which is the day after Thanksgiving. Just curious to know how you guys rock out there. There's no right or wrong answer, but you can put it in the chat and we'll go ahead and comment. The Notorious GAV says, I'm not saying he's the answer to the offense and winning games, but get juice to rock. I like that. Come in here. You came in with the juice. You know what I'm saying? VZ408, what's up, Breezy and Faithful? Happy Friday. I'm going to have to go, my man B. Oh, y'all picking people off already, as our savior to this offense. BCB, also known as, I think that's just, yeah. I feel like he's using this time to get his mind right and to be better. I love it. I love it. I love it. Troy's in the building. Good morning, Breezy Bunch. Happy Friday. It's all the Breezy Bunch members, man. They get the early show shout outs. Boss is in the building. What's poppin', Niners family? Red and Gold Blooded. What's good, Niners fam? Red and Gold Blooded. I know you commented on one of the other shows. I'm a little pissed off because, I take pride in the teams, and I think I know what I'm talking about. But I feel like the NFL is sabotaging me. They don't like me. There's no reason why the Tennessee Titans should have lost last night. But because they love Mose, you know what I'm saying? The Steelers found a way to come back and win. And it was sucked because I'm looking at Kenny Pickett. He has what, 6 comeback and win games this year, 6 to 8. It's in that range. It's crazy because I just thought to bring that up. Miss Debbie says, blessings to you, Wayne. Happy Friday, everyone. Hashtag BB. Remember to hit that like button, become a member, and download the Faithful to the Bay song. Yes. Get that song up there and pop it. Ronnie33. Hashtag BB. Let's go. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any of the members. We got 684 likes already. That's what. I only see 41 people watching the show. You know what I mean? Yeah, but hey, we'll take it. You know what I mean? Eddie G and the Bulldogs, what's up? Faithful. Let's see what else. I see the comments coming in here. This is so funny. All right, so I'm gonna check on some of those comments in a second. We're going to talk about the offense on today's episode. And the cool thing is, I know we got some reinforcements on the defense. We've talked about Chase Young and what he's going to bring, and I'm excited. I'm excited, but I'm more excited to see if the offense could get back on track. Going from 31 points per game, 31 to 33 points per game, to drop it down to 17 points per game. It's a little question mark for your boy Breezy, and there could be multiple reasons to why. And we'll talk about some of those reasons why. I see my brother in the building. Listen, whenever I could get my brother Smokey on here to watch sports, then Jesus is on his way. That means he's probably like 5 steps from coming down here. Smokey's in the building. What's going on, bro? That's my brother, man. Super producer out there. If you guys need music, that's the guy. That's my man. That's who I confide in when it comes to music. But one of the greatest drummers in the world, one of the greatest producers in the world. Smokey, what's going on? All right, so let's talk about some of the things that are going on within the organization, right? And we want to start with when it comes down to the 49ers, let's talk about what's going on with the news. Chase Young being in the Bay, past his physical. You know what I mean? That means he's healthy. You pass your physical, that means you're healthy. 49ers wouldn't have traded for him if they didn't think he was going to pass the physical. And then I think there was a report out there that said that Nick Bosa was going to stick around, wasn't going to enjoy the break and his time off. Even though Kyle Shanahan said that his players were tired and that they needed the break, Bosa said, you, Kyle, we got my brother in here, Chase Young. I'm going to get him acquainted quickly because we need to hit the joint quickly and get it back rolling. Now, Eric Armstead, on his podcast put out, listen, look, we are, you know what? I got the quote. Hold on. And I'm going to give him a shout out to them on the show too as well. Give me a second. So Eric Armstead, his shows with Title League, if you guys aren't familiar with Title League, check them out on Twitter, or excuse me, X. Or in Instagram. I believe they're highly known on X. But this is something that he said. He says he's guaranteeing Eric Armstead, defensive lineman, a.k.a. the blueprint of the San Francisco 49ers, stand-up guy, should be Walter Payton Man of the Year. I know he's nominated every year. Eric Armstead said he guarantees that this team is going to go on a run. All right. He's guaranteeing it. You know what? I'm not mad at the guarantee. I'm actually, you know, I agree. I mean, they do it every year. They go on a run every year. Like what? Like at least we know that the 49ers trend is to go on a run every year. Like, name the one year after Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch kind of constructed the infrastructure of their team and they got it built like a machine. When haven't they gone on a run? So, like Eric Armstead making a kind of statement like that, I agree with 100%. I feel like they're going to go on a run. And the only thing that would halt that run is if there's a significant injury. And when I say significant, that means to a significant player or whatnot. Other than that, the defense is going to hit the ground running. We talked about that on Wednesday's episode. They just added in a piece that does three things in particularly well. And then I'm going to move on from Chase Young until we see it in red and gold. You know, we've seen it in the maroon and yellow, but until we see it in the red and gold, I know it's kind of hard to like accept. But I tell you, the thing that I love the most about Chase Young is the way he's able to contain the edge, right? The way he's able to set the edge and not allow these runners to do what they do. Number two, he could win his one-on-ones. That's important because he's going to get plenty of one-on-ones. And he doesn't win it with strength, right? He doesn't win it just with strength. So you're going to get that aspect of Chase Young. And then number three, he's just a mother freaking monster, man. Like, look, they got another monster. The 49ers may just have the best front four in the NFL, all right? Best front four from Nick Bosa to Chase Young on your ends, all right? And then you add in the interior with Eric Armstead, who in the second half of the season is the guy that does the most. And you saw what Eric Armstead did, right? Right before the break. What did Eric Armstead do? Right before the break. Eric Armstead got 2 sacks. He didn't have diddly squat all season. Right before the break, he's letting the world know that, hey, you know how I turn up in the second half of the season. And Eric Armstead is most effectively in the postseason, if you guys are familiar with Eric Armstead and his numbers and what he does in the postseason. So Eric Armstead is just, he's what's the word? He's pacing himself. He's pacing himself. All right. Good. So you got Eric Armstead in the middle, and then you got Javon Hargrave in the middle as well, who's going to be able to continue to get pressure up the middle now that they can't focus. There was one clip, I can't remember who posted this play. Oh, Johnny Dell. Like Johnny Dell posted a play, and um the thumbnail or the picture of the play, I watched and I was like, dang. Like the only person on the defensive front that had a one-on-one was literally Eric Armstead. So what did they do? They doubled Nick Bosa with the tight end. They doubled Javon Hargrave with the center and the offensive lineman. And then guess who else was double teamed? Believe it or not, it was Randy Gregory. Like they had the lineman on him, and then they chipped him with the running back. So they're literally trying to take out the edges, right? Well, guess what? Now you just added in a monster like Chase Young. So that double from the interior, where they're going to try to double Hargrave, expect the interior to create a lot more pressure. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, expect them to create a lot more pressure from the interior, which is why they went and got Javon Hargrave in the first place. So, look, I'm happy that Nick Bosa is going to be helping them out. These guys go back to the Ohio State days. They brothers from another mother. And that's super huge and super exciting to talk about. Let's talk about the Niners. All right. Now, I feel like, up until week 8, we're entering week 9, right? And so like the Niners are currently ranked, I believe there are different rankings in the power rankings. I don't know. You guys don't really care about the power rankings, but I like to see where the Niners either trend up or trend down. Now they've had 3 losses in a row, but they remain in the top 10, and I think that's important. And so, I feel like the ranking ranges between 6 and 8 or 6 and 10, right? They're in the top 10 as far as PFT, as far as power rankings. PFT has them ranked, I believe, 6, and some of the other conglomerates out there have them ranked number 8. I did see that they were ranked number 2 in the NFC. So you got Philadelphia, that's probably number 1. And then the Niners are still ranked number 2. Even though the Seattle Seahawks has a better record, people still fear the San Francisco 49ers from what they've seen them do on offense and defense. I think the issue with the Niners is they just got to get back to what everybody knows that they can do. Not just know that because they've seen it, right? It's not like, oh yeah, the Niners can possibly do this. No, 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 no. They did it. They did it for 5 weeks where they were like number 1 defensively, top 5 offensively, all that good stuff. So they ranked at the top all year long, especially for the first 5 weeks in the NFL. And then they kind of just went on a losing streak. I mean, that's kind of like what it is. Like, they declined in certain areas. The pass rush was lacking. They blitzed a lot more and couldn't get home. They were not scoring enough on offense. Special teams even looked a little suspect, minus Mitch Wishnowsky, who should be a Pro Bowl kicker. By the way, Mitch Wishnowsky should be the NFC's Pro Bowl kicker. Pro Bowl kicker. Now, I see a lot of people saying, hey, what's going to be Jay Eli, what's going to be Young's uniform number? It hasn't been announced yet. Can't be 99. It's already taken. I don't think, is he still allowed to pay Kinlaw for the number? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But 99 is taken. Number 9 is taken as well. I believe he wore that number in high school. Braden Willis wears that number, but he's a rookie, so maybe, possibly, he can get that number. But I don't think defensive ends can wear the low numbers. I think because he's a defensive end and not an outside linebacker, he has to wear a number that's higher. So, like, yeah, the 90s, 92 maybe, 90, 92, 93. Who was 93? Was that DJ Jones? I don't know. We're gonna find out. But look, I know Contavious Street. What was Contavious Street? Anyway, he's gonna wear something probably in the 90s. I thought about this, red and gold blooded. I don't think he can go 00, but that would be fire. That definitely would be fire. Snoopy says, I thought they got rid of position numbers. I think this year there's a new rule to it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I could try to pull it up, but I think he has to wear a certain set of numbers because he's labeled an edge, whereas Randy Gregory was labeled an outside linebacker, so he can wear 0 through whatever. That's why he chose number 5. All right. Madden already has him at 92. Will he take 92? I don't know. DJ was 93. Kalia Davis is 93 now. So, again, but he's a veteran. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how it works. I remember you used to can pay. And the thing is, it's not just paying the player. Technically, he would have to buy out the jerseys that were already made and then, switch them over or some junk like that. It's gonna be crazy. But they says he could take. Sim says he could take any number. Okay, if he's labeled as a outside linebacker or whatever. I thought there was a rule that said if he's an outside linebacker, you got to be whatever. You got to be. You could go 0 through whatever the number was. Well, I could be wrong. It is what it is. We'll find it. We'll get it up. Whatever. We're gonna start the show. We got a super chat contribution from Jax. I asked about the Christmas tree. My tree is up now. Wow. That's so you're pre-Thanksgiving. Jax is pre-Thanksgiving. I saw some other pre and post Thanksgivings back there. Let's see if I can scroll back through the chat. Black Friday is when the tree comes up. First week in December, day after Thanksgiving, that's Black Friday. Let's see if we got anything. I know Miss Debbie said December 1st. Can you dig it? Ask me a question. Fake trees or real ones? I go with the fake ones. The real ones, too much of a mess, but they smell good. Hurricane 774 says December after Thanksgiving. So if you put your tree up, we don't see any pre-Thanksgivings in here other than Jax. Well, Hey, Jax, enjoy your tree for a whole extra month or whatnot. You know what I mean? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. No, so, look, that's cool. My tree not going up until I just get time to put it up. So it'll probably get up at some point. All right, let's talk about this 49ers and where they currently are at the bye week. I think that's super important, right? Because when I looked at the defense, I did the defensive episode on Wednesday, and I'm like, dang, like as bad as they look, they're still top. They're still top 10. Some areas they're top 5. You would not believe where the San Francisco 49ers offense is ranked. You would not believe it if I told you. Per ESPN, that's why I use for rankings. Per ESPN, 49ers have the 6th total offense in the NFL, averaging 376.6 yards per game. They're number 6, close to being top 5. How far are they off from being the top 5 offense? Stand by me real quickly. Buffalo, oh my gosh, they're 0.3 yards off from being in the top 5. Buffalo Bills have the top 5 offense. The 49ers are 0.3. The Buffalo Bills 376.9. The Niners are 376.6. Obviously, the Dolphins are way up there. They're an offensive team, as you can see. They don't really hit the tread rolling when it comes to defense, but offense, they like to put up yards and things like that. I thought that was interesting because I still feel there are a bunch of weaknesses, which we're going to get to after we go through these rankings when it comes to the 49ers offense and who's going to help save them. Like, we'll get to that, I promise. But knowing that they're a top 10 offensive team, actually ranked number 6 in the league when it comes to total yards, that's important. Let's get to passing yards. Now, passing yards, they're ranked 10th, right? So passing yards, they're top 10. The Niners are still top 10 when it comes to passing. All right. That's it. Look, as bad as it looked for the past 3 weeks, I mean, Brock Purdy put up 345 yards against the Bengals, which was probably one of his like biggest games when it comes to passing yards. It's just like so weird, right? They're still ranked top 10 when it comes to passing. How about rushing? They're number 5, right? They're ranked 5th in rushing, 133.1 yards. Now, circle the rushing. Circle rushing for me. Like, put a star by rushing. We're going to talk about rushing. All right? And then scoring. 23.3 points per game. Number 5 in the NFL. They're top 5 in the NFL scoring. And I put that, and that's a typo. That's a typo. Let me fix the typo. My apologies. That's what happens when you do stuff fast. That shouldn't be a 3. That should be a 7. So the 49ers are still close to averaging 30 points per game. It's just 3 weeks in a row they had 17, right? Let's check this out. Top 5 in scoring, number 5. Let's talk about these other teams. You got the Miami Dolphins averaging 33.9. They're number 1. The Cowboys are number 2 at 28.8. Hold up. Long applause. Cowboys, number 2. The Philadelphia Eagles are right behind the Cowboys, 28.0. The Buffalo Bills, we don't really care about. They're at 27.8. And then the 49ers are at 27.3. And then number 6 is the Indianapolis Colts at 25.6. So 27.3 separates about 1 point something away from the Indianapolis Colts. The 49ers are a top 5 scoring offense. That junk makes 0 sense to me because I know we put up 17 points a game, but man, it's the ugliest 17 points per game I've seen in the past 3 weeks of the NFL. The ugliest. I would say when they played the Cleveland Browns, I thought we would at least get to the 20s. But they out of the 3 teams we played, they had the best defense. So 17 against that defense, okay. Then we played Minnesota Vikings. They had like the last ranked defense in everything, and we could only put up 17. And then you go to the team we just played in the Cincinnati, who just has a non-quitting type of a defense. I'm not saying their defense was ranked good in anything, but they don't quit. They just don't give up. They never surrender. And for some reason, because we were behind the whole game, we can only put up 17 points. So that's why we have to have this conversation about who will save the offense. Like who? Who's going to save this 49ers offense? Now, Deebo Samuel on the Up and Adams show. came out, said he's ready to go. You can take it how you want it. I just feel like, to me, the way I'm going to take it is the way he said it. Like, he don't want to talk about it. He just wants to suit up. He wants to get his gear on, and he wants to get back to playing 49er football. Deebo Samuel being ready to go could be the one that's going to help save this offense, because you can tell that the Niners, and when Deebo's in the offense, the Niners get 30 points per game. When he's not in the offense, the Niners get 17 points per game. So I'm just saying, it's a possibility that Deebo is the one that helps save the offense. Now, it's tough to say, because you know who else we were missing? Trent Williams. We were missing Trent Williams, a.k.a. the Broad Street Bully, a.k.a. he will punch you in the face, a.k.a. I don't know why people even argue with him. Just say yes, sir, and keep it moving. Like, Trent has zero restrainability, if that's even a word. He doesn't care. If you mess with him or if you mess with anybody on his team, Trent Williams will come and maul you. And here's the thing. I didn't realize he was as bad as he is when it comes to this until, who did I watch? I watched something. Oh, nobody likes Cam Newton out there, right? Nobody likes Cam Newton. I watched Cam Newton put a takeout on Trent Williams, and I didn't realize that Trent Williams and Richard Sherman, I did not realize that Trent, even though they were jabber-jawing through the game, it didn't hit me that after the game he did what he did. Like, Trent doesn't let stuff go. That's how important he is to be out there. I'm not saying he's going to just fight. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and start a fight and all that good stuff. What I'm trying to say is Trent Williams may be that missing piece. The 49ers, I told you to circle a thing or two about the 49ers. Let's talk about where the 49ers offense has been struggling, all right? Let's start at the front. Let's start with the offensive line. I think it's the weakest link on the San Francisco 49ers. They're currently ranked close to being the worst offensive line in the NFL, especially in pass protection. And that's a problem. That's a problem, because there are going to be some games where Brock's going to have to throw, which means there's going to be some games where the 49ers offensive line is going to have to protect. Right? Now, Trent Williams hasn't been out there for the last 3 weeks. And it's weird. It's so weird, because overall, it feels like the offensive line does their job, but then it'd be just that one play Jalen Moore gives up that pressure, or the one play Colton McKivitz gives up the pressure. And the interior just is not good at pass protection. They never have been. I don't think they ever will be. So pass pro is always going to be an issue. But there's nothing, and I mean nothing, ladies and gentlemen, that the San Francisco 49ers can do about that right now. Nothing. Nothing. I was not taking a shot at Uncle Sherm. I just wanted to point out that Trent Williams ain't nothing to with. It was not taking. I love. Ever since Richard Sherman became red and gold, he's become one of my favorite people, one of my favorite players. I wish Father Time didn't catch up with him, but Richard Sherman was a force when he was here with the San Francisco 49ers, and a lot of people want him to come and coach the defense. But I just wanted to talk about how just Trent Williams is nothing to mess with. I mean, we watched him body slam a choke slam, in the NFC Championship game. I mean, it just don't get under his skin. Back to the offense, though, which we're still talking about the offense. I get it. I get why people still don't like Richard Sherman. I said when he became a Niner was when my love and passion for him grew. Up until then, it was Sherm, right? Sherm, and you understand that, right, Uncle Sherm? You understand that, right? I want to call you Coach Sherm. I don't want to call you Uncle Sherm anymore, because I realize I'm older than you. Why am I calling you Uncle? At the end of the day, though, the offensive front is a problem. It's a big question mark, but there's nothing the 49ers can do about it right now. Listen, they already got, I don't want to say they let this happen, but you already know that Leroy Watson, a guy that they brought in, they signed him. He was on the practice squad. He is now a Cleveland Brown, right? Congratulations to him, too, by the way. When these players are on the practice squad, technically they're free agents, and if another team wants to come and offer you a contract, you can go ahead and, take that contract. Now, he was a former tight end converted into an offensive lineman, And so now he's going to be on that Cleveland Browns offensive line. So Leroy Watson is gone, but they did add another offensive lineman. They did add in, what's his name? Jesse. Let's see if I have it in here somewhere. Jesse Davis, offensive lineman. They added him to the practice squad. So they did bolster their practice squad back up with the offensive lineman. But the 49ers, in my opinion, they just don't value the offensive line. I think when it comes to Kyle Shanahan, there are two positions. I've been saying this for the past, how many years he's been here? Just follow Kyle Shanahan's trajectory. Just follow his trajectory. You ready? There's two positions on the offensive line that he cares the most about. You got your left tackle and you got your center. And when I think about what is really going on with the 49ers offensive line, your left tackle hasn't been playing. And I just don't think that Jake Brendel is the center by choice, even though they signed him in free agency. I think if Kyle had a better option than Jake Brendel, that person would be the center, but there was just not a better option. They didn't draft one. They did draft a couple, like one prior, and they're trying to convert Nick Zakel and see if he can grasp the concept. But Jake Brendel's the guy as of right now when it comes to center. But those are the two most important pieces on Kyle Shanahan's offensive line. And I'm telling you, man, after Alex Mack retired, I think that threw a curveball. You know, luckily when Joe Staley retired, it was done so eloquently and the communication was on point. We talked about communication on the last episode, right? And they were able to make the trade for Trent Williams at the same daggone time. Like, it was like perfect transition. We went from Joe Staley to Trent Williams, but we had Alex Mack. The offensive line has been better, and now the 49ers are dealing with, we're paying everybody else, and we got to kind of work with what we got. So I'm not expecting the offensive line to be better, but there are ways, I promise you, to make the offensive line look better and play with continuity. And you saw it first 5 weeks, right? Because those are saying that Trent Williams may be the key piece that's missing. I got to go back to Deebo. Because when Deebo was there, it just appeared that the offensive line just played better. Brock Purdy was able to get the ball out of his hands quick. He's not sitting there looking all day to get, even when he got the ball down the field, right? It just looked better. They were pass protecting. Like the run game was better, because that's the next thing we're going to talk about, right? So it just seemed like the offensive line was better with the piece of Deebo just being in the offense some way, somehow. He just made the offense work better. All right, let's get to the run game, because Christian McCaffrey leads the NFL in rushing. Okay, Christian McCaffrey leads the NFL in rushing. All right, we're going to leave it at that. Leads the NFL in rushing, but he's been very subpar the past 3 weeks in football. In my opinion, the explosive Christian McCaffrey got put on ice. Christian McCaffrey comes in, enters the game, starts off really good, gets first 2 weeks, fumble, back-to-back fumbles in the red zone, not good, right? Still got his touchdown after the fact, he had a 2-touchdown game after the fact. I was saying the last game came in that he did get the oblique injury. Got to factor that in. But Christian McCaffrey still doesn't look explosive. Like something, I'm not saying it's wrong with him health-wise. It could be play design. It could be because of Deebo not being in the offense. It just changes the way defenses prepare for that 49ers offense, and they're zeroing in on Christian McCaffrey, which hinders him from being explosive, which also hinders the offensive line from doing what they need to do to get out to sustain their blocks on the run game. So, look, I want to talk about the run. The run game isn't the same. Now, Kyle Shanahan also isn't using Jordan Mason. He is using Elijah Mitchell, and I think there's a reason. And I get it, Ronnie. Trust me, I get it. Trent helps the run game. He's the best offensive lineman on this team by far. Best offensive lineman on the team by far. Hands down, best offensive lineman. 1,000%. He does help in the run game. But the Niners still got to figure out how to run the ball with or without Trent. And they haven't been able to figure that out. I'm curious to see if Trent Williams misses the next game in Jacksonville and Deebo plays. I bet you the offensive line would look a little bit better in run blocking because of what Kyle Shanahan can scheme. I think Deebo is the key to scheme. I think that is the issue when it comes to the 49ers offense and why we've seen a decline. I'm not saying Deebo, I'm not saying he's the best player on the 49ers offense. Some may argue and say that he is, but I'm telling you guys, the key is him not being available because Kyle can't scheme properly. He just can't scheme properly. You get what I'm saying? So that like when you look at what's really going on, I mean, it does start up front. You guys are 100% correct. It starts up front. But the Niners have to figure it out because you're not always going to have 100% healthy team. And you're going to have to plug and play those different offensive linemen. Now, here's what's interesting because you guys, I don't know if you remember this. We haven't talked about injuries yet, but Aaron Banks won't play probably for the next 2 games. Maybe the next one. He went out. He never left the game, but he did end up with an injury with turf toe, extended, right? So his foot, his toe is all jacked up. He did finish the game in Cincinnati. The report said he could be out for 3 weeks. So you count this week. He's definitely not going to play in the Jacksonville game, and he probably will miss the Tampa Bay game at home. And then maybe he'll be ready for that next game. I don't know. But now you're missing another offensive lineman, right? Probably your second best offensive lineman. But if Trent Williams is back, I do think whoever they put there, whether it's Nick Zakelj, whether it's John Feliciano, whoever it is, will probably be able to play at least par football, subpar football. Like they'll be able to play. You know what I mean? The Niners got to fix their run game. That's first and foremost. And they got to figure out how to do it with whatever type of offensive line they have because that's what they chose. They chose skill. They chose that over just the offensive line. So they're going to have to figure it out. And that goes to head coaching. So if you guys are paying attention to the poll that's going on, we got a poll question going on. What is the worst aspect of the 49ers offense? Notice how I put play calling, play design, and execute, and then play execution. And then there's other. If you guys want to put other and then put your comment in the comment section, we'll talk about it. But play calling, right? Or is it the design of the play? Or is it that the players aren't executing? I should have put play comprehension because maybe Kyle Shanahan's offense, when it comes to not having his set players out there, maybe it's too complicated. Kyle Shanahan's a complicated guy. What do you say? We say beautiful mind, right? When it comes to Kyle Shanahan. So we'll see what happens. But look, the Niners, who will help save this 49ers offense? All right. So there's a couple of pieces out there. You got to get your offensive lineman back. You got to get Trent Williams back. And I think I just think having Deebo it just enables everybody to flow properly. It definitely accounts to where the defenses have to play different. Will defenses still come up with 5-man fronts if they're out in the 3-4, or if they come out in the 4-3 and put an extra guy up there on the line? Will they still do that? Probably. I think the NFL defenses feel like they figured Brock Purdy out, and that's why I can't wait to the second half of football. I cannot wait. Because I guarantee y'all, Brock Purdy is going through a mental, type of situation where he's like, dang, yo, I'm better than this. I could do this. I could have did this. I could have did that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait because I want the defenses to come out with the same game plan. And I want Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan to come out with a game plan to, trump the defenses. Remember, this is chess, not checkers. And at the beginning of the show, we talked about the San Francisco 49ers. We talked about what do they normally do. Eric Armstead says he expects his team to go on a run. Why? Because they usually flip a switch. They make a move and they flip a switch. The Niners are currently 5-3 at the bye, at their break. They're better than what they've probably have been over the past couple of years. 2019, obviously, they were a little bit better. But 2019 was like a battle, right? Like to remain that great, to remain that good. Ooh, it was tough. I like where the Niners are. They lost 3 in a row. I think the Niners are going to come out with a whole different mindset uh, and just better execution. Doesn't really matter who's out there. But if I had to pick a person who will help save the 49ers offense, and I had to pick a player, right? I had to pick a player. It's got to be Deebo Samuel because Deebo is going to create the mismatches. Deebo enables the screen game. Deebo enables the quick passing game. People have to either decide if they're going to go double Deebo, one-on-one with Deebo, like whatever it is with Deebo. I don't care if he's not the greatest route runner. He doesn't have to be. But gosh darn it, I miss getting the ball to him. I miss him lining up in the damn backfield. I don't care if Deebo gets stopped. Like him being out there just changes the whole way Kyle schemes. And it allows it just makes the defense say, oh, this is going to be a little bit easier today. Not saying that the 49ers offense is easy peasy, but not having Deebo Samuel out there makes the defense not have to work as hard. And I think when the defense has to work harder, that's when they make more mistakes. That's when they're not able to come out and stick to their game plan. I think Kyle Shanahan wants the defensive coordinators from these opposing teams to have to be able to be the adjustment. It's not Kyle Shanahan should have to adjust all the time. I feel like when Kyle Shanahan draws up a play, I promise you, every time he draws up a play, that play is a touchdown. Like every play. I don't care if it's at the 1 yard line. I don't care if it's at the other 1 yard line. Every play he draws up, I guarantee is a touchdown. It just takes 11 people to execute it. That's the hardest part. How do you get all 11 in sync? That's the hardest part, right? If Kyle is able to do that, the offense can kind of. If I had to pick a third thing about the offense, what's kind of screwed up with our offense is the penalties. I just feel like they gotta crack down on. They gotta stop getting penalties. Stop holding. Like hit the dude with a forearm and do what you gotta do, but don't hold. Like stop. Like I know it's easier said than done, but man, those holding calls usually you get a big run out of it. And it's because of the grab of the jersey or the grab of stop. They got to stop holding. They got to stop delayed games. These are silly penalties. That's on Kyle. Kyle, get your offense in sync. Don't even worry about the defense, Kyle. Make sure your offense is able to get back to what they were doing and scoring, being fluid, having a rhythm. All those type of things. That's what Kyle Shanahan has to figure out. And if he want to be the greatest play caller of all time, if he want to enter into that Bill Walsh type of a conversation, not only does he have to win championships, he got to start figuring out how to win games when you're coming from behind or when you don't have all your pieces out there. That's going to separate Kyle from everybody else in the NFL currently today, right? Can't even mention him in the same conversation with a Bill Walsh. But he can get to that conversation if he starts finding ways to get his players to execute the game plans that he calls. Kyle's going to have to figure out how to make some adjustments throughout the game. Defenses are adjusting. Kyle has to adjust. He has to continue to trust his players. But if I had to pick one person to say who's going to help save the 49ers, it's not the head coach. It's a player. His name is Deebo freaking Samuel. And he's going to just enable everybody to play better. So Deebo being out there is huge, almost healthier, not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Gammon, what's going on, fam? He says he has a question. May I ask a selfish question? So you already asked the question to saying it was going to be selfish, but that's cool. You have one of the least toxic communities. I'm in the Army, and I would love to meet you and other community members in person. Will you be going to the Ravens 49ers game? So I would love to meet you as well. I would love to meet everybody. I will not be at that. That game is on Christmas. So that's a Monday. I will not be at that game. It's Monday Night Football, I believe. I will not be back out to the Bay Area until the playoffs. So there'll be plenty of things to do. I know John Chapman and the 49ers rush crew will be out there during the playoffs. We definitely can possibly meet during that time, which is not too far from December football because the playoffs will start sometime in January. All right. But we definitely can meet. If that's cool with you, we'll figure it out. All right. We'll figure it out. Oh, I got to get to some of these comments. No excuses for Kyle needing Deebo to make sure. It's not an excuse. Not giving Kyle any excuses. I promise you, observe natural evolution. Kyle has to figure it out. Like if Kyle wants to be in that conversation of one of the best play callers, he has to be able to utilize whoever it is he has and make it work. I will say players have to execute the plays, but Kyle has to make sure that if if he's calling a certain play, he has to have 100% faith that the players out there can execute it. I think that is the issue with Kyle Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the issue for me with Kyle Shanahan. No excuses for Kyle. I promise. No excuses. And he knows he's got to be better. Kyle knows. Kyle knows he could have, you know, changed this up to fit Ray McCloud, opposed to having Ray McCloud run the same damn play call for Deebo Samuel. You know what I mean? Mike says Brock needs to figure it out, Breezy. Well, yeah, he does. He definitely does need to figure out how to not allow the big moments come from playing from behind affect his ability to play. Like, right? So he has to figure out like how to not fluster under the pressure, because it's so weird to me. So weird. All right. If we talk about just the last game, fourth quarter Brock. It ain't even fourth quarter Brock. It's 2 minutes Brock, right? Brock Purdy, 2 minutes left. The defenses adjusted. They played pass. Offensive line wasn't great. They knew he was going to throw the ball. Perhaps Brock could have done a short pass and to me, I'm like, Kyle, see that, and that's when I be thinking about Kyle, right? Kyle, they're playing pass. That. Have a check down there right in front of him, not to the side, that's a harder throw. It's easy to throw the check down. The player's right there. Now you got to get it over the defensive line, but just have a check down right there as a security blanket. It could be a tight end. It could be a running back. It could be any of that. Have a check down for your quarterback. But they don't be there. And if they do, they're running a route that got to develop. No, don't need a develop route. It's called check and release. You block, you release, bam. Option 1A, B, not open. Option C, you always my option C. I'm coming to you. I don't have enough time. I think Kyle needs to make sure that Brock has the right options available for him so that he doesn't make those mistakes, right? And actually, he's throwing to a linebacker for an interception, or because he's trying to develop a play and get the ball downfield, he's getting sacked or things like that, Like Kyle Shanahan definitely can fine-tune his play calling just a little bit, so that the success rate is a lot higher. Whenever you got to check that, you know why I said that? Because I'm sick and tired of watching everybody else do it. I think I watched Kenny Pickett do it last night. I watched Will Levis do it last night, even though he's trying to get the ball down the field on every play. I just feel like I'm watching other quarterbacks just have that security blanket, whether it's a tight end, whether it's a check down. And if my guys aren't open, I'm getting the ball to the check down. See what happens. Positive yards. 2 yards is better than negative 10 yards. That's how I look at it. And look, why not more passes to this guy? Why not more pass plays to Juice? He's a freaking utility knife. Why not? That's why I don't have any excuses for Kyle Shanahan. I'm hoping I'm coming up with some scenarios to where he can go out there and do a little something different. He says, we talk about McCaffrey and Deebo being similar. Kyle can't figure out Mason in the backfield. McCaffrey playing Deebo's role, just saying. That's a good point, right? Maui, that's a great point, right? And that's the difference, right? When Deebo's not there, now McCaffrey's taking that role. He has to line up at the wide. He has to line up behind the backfield. Instead of them putting out, instead of you seeing Juice in 21 personnel now, you're seeing Elijah Mitchell in 21 personnel because Kyle still wants that running back factor. And this is important because you said that you see McCaffrey playing the Deebo role. Well, of course you see it, especially when you see Elijah Mitchell on the football field at the same time. If Deebo was there, it's different because it's a wide receiver out there in the backfield or doing those different types of motions and things, opposed to another running back. It's like as soon as they see Elijah Mitchell on the field, the defense locates and says, he's the running back, watch Christian McCaffrey. And then it's an easy takeout. Easy takeout. Why not use Juice in 21 personnel? Why not have Juice the guy? They don't know what you're going to do to Juice. They think you're going to be running it to him, and you could throw it to him. I don't know. It's just little fine. It's fine. The offense, in my opinion, needs fine tuning, right? Just some fine tuning. That's it. Offense needs fine tuning. Kyle Shanahan needs to fine tune his offense. As far as the defense, that's a whole nother question. It didn't need an overhaul. I think the defense just needed to get back to the basics. They're missing tackles. I don't give a fuck where you got them schemed up to play. They still ain't getting tackles. You can line them up in the wrong position. Making a tackle is number one in my book. It's not the defensive show. Back to the offense, though. That's a great point. It's a great freaking point. Never thought about that. The roles switch when Deebo. That's why I said Deebo Samuel is the key, and he's going to come back. And he's going to be the one to help save this offense. Mark, great question. Where'd your avatar go? Mark says the offense has too many weapons for Kyle to use. I think he doesn't even know how to use them. Is there a? Do you guys think they have too many weapons? I don't know. I think about basketball. Shout out to my brother John Chapman, too. He's a Dallas Mavericks fan. Both of our teams are still 4-0, by the way, in the NBA. Is it a possibility to have too many mouths to feed? Could that be causing frustration with the offense? Does that happen in football? I feel like it happens in anything that's competitive. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm asking y'all. I don't know. Snoop says, nah, you can never have too many. Right. Right. That's a good point. But why can't Kyle figure out which weapon to use at the right time? How do we end up on Kyle? That, to me, Kyle should know his weapons better than the defense know his weapons, right? Like that. So Kyle has to say, all right, I'm missing this piece. Cool, no problem. But I can still beat you because I have this piece. We talking about Juice, and Juice is not utilized, period. Right? Juice is underutilized. I mean, running him on a 3rd and 1 ain't it. It's never been it. I don't even know why that is it. I'd rather put Jordan Mason out there and let him start in deep in the backfield and allow his strength and force to fall forward to get you 1 yard. I'd rather him line up 7 yards in the backfield so he can get you 1 yard. I guarantee you Mason will get the 1 yard. I don't get why Juice is utilized in that. It's never been his strength. But, man, you could have faked it to Juice and just dumped it to him, and he could have got you probably more than 1 yard. I just feel like Kyle's not utilizing his weapons. And there's another question. Great one says Juice is overpaid. People will say he's overpaid. I don't know. I don't know if he's overpaid. He's definitely highly paid to be a fullback. But I guarantee you that Kyle Shanahan is saying to myself, I forgot I had this weapon. You ever have things in the crib and you forgot you even had them and you like, oh snap, I totally forgot about this. I'm about to pull this out. They ain't seen this in a minute. I ain't seen it in a minute. oh, I'm about to utilize this. Like I do that with my like when I get on certain keyboards that I have, and I'll be like, yo, this sound was fat. I forgot I made this sound. Like, I'm about to utilize this sound right here. Like on my next song or whatever. I feel like Kyle is in that boat. That's why I said could having too many be overwhelming. I'm saying hell no. Kyle got figured out. But we haven't seen those weapons being utilized because we've seen issues with the offensive line. We've seen issues with protecting the football. We didn't even talk about that today, right? We've seen issues with protecting the football. Like Christian McCaffrey, best running back in the NFL, 3 fumbles on the season. It's not good. It's not good, right? Got to protect the football. Now, granted, he's fumbling the ball trying to get those extra yards, but he got to remember, it's 3-4 people coming in to get that ball out his hand every single time he touch it because they want to make the great one fumble. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot. It's a lot when it comes to Christian McCaffrey, but he's still that dope. 49ers got to figure it out. The offense will get their stuff together, I promise you. And look, second half of the season kicks off next week. The regular scheduled shows will be back. John will be here on next Friday. Monday we'll have a great show. Wednesday there won't be a show, but there'll be other shows here on the channel. You guys are the greatest daggone audience in the house. Wait. Where you are, Nick Nice? 3 fumbles and no doghouse. Would you put Christian McCaffrey in the doghouse, bro? Just ask yourself that question. Would you put Christian McCaffrey in the doghouse? I mean, Brandon Ayuk got a few drops. He ain't going back in the doghouse either. And that's my point. Like, Kyle has to utilize these weapons, dog. Like I know Brandon Ayuk went bananas against the Bengals, but he didn't get in the end zone. But how do you not utilize him in the second half of that Minnesota Vikings game? How does he get you plus 50 in one half and not get you 0 in the next? 0 targets. 0. Like that is an issue. I don't care if you're trailing. And why not run the ball? Like, we were down 10-17 and we just weren't running the ball. We had time. Like, running the ball, Brock was killing in play action. So we started running the ball. They made him one-dimensional. That's why he's struggling in the late games, ladies and gentlemen, because the teams realize he's one-dimensional. They're not running. And next thing you know, boom, they load the backfield. Instead of loading the box to take away the run, they load the backfield to take away the pass. That's an aha moment if you guys didn't understand anything about football. But come late in those games when you're trailing, teams don't give 1-2 flying about the run. They know you're throwing. That's why I said, Brock, give him a check down. Give him somebody to just dump it to. A little easy stuff. You know what I mean? Listen, the offense is going to be fine. Deebo Samuel will be back. Trent Williams will be back. Aaron Banks will be taking a small break. I'm hoping it's a small break. No pun intended. He didn't break anything. He just has turf toe. But, he's going to take a small pause for the calls. I think the defense will be back. I think Kyle Shanahan is in the lab cooking. I saw Snoop say that. But the Niners are going to be up to something. Expect them to go on a run. We'll talk about that run next week. All right. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back. No harm, no foul. Don't forget to check out the hats and the fits over there at residency.com and use that promo code SFBreezy so you can save on your turtle purchase. Love y'all. Friday, man. Drink responsibly. Have a great weekend and have fun. Most importantly, it's the last day off before we go on a run. All right. So enjoy it. Love y'all, man. Stay faithful and always keep it faithful to the day. Video premiere Sunday. Shout out to everybody that left comments that got to see the video, early. Love y'all. Y'all comments are so dope, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
I be sipping gold bar, whiskey on the rocks, and a 24 karat gold on a watch. My 7-1 Chevy be tipping nonstop, sounding like Trent Williams on the block. So we can't stop, we be banging through your speakers. Wayne Breezy on the field or in the bleachers. You can tune into my show and I'm a teacher. Wayne Breezy, the phone 9 preacher.